Welcome to episode 2 of the Stoned Ape Game 3. This episode we're calling The Killing of Graymason because, well, this episode I'll be faking my death. There's a lot of tactical things going on, but there's also mind games. Remember, this is a custom 29-player game with one player being Stoned Ape in the middle, the white. They're a neutral player. We have anonymity turned on. And there's a few little fun things about this game is when someone's home world is taken, their true identity is revealed. In this game, I'm going as Pandemic. So you see we're the blue, and we have day one aligned with the green, which is Team JSE. So on my team, it's myself as Pandemic, Jet is Kaine, a very formidable pair. We have Brittanny, and we have, where is he at? HB. So these are people I didn't know coming in, and I have to say, super impressed. They've done an outstanding job. They are active, they are in it, they are playing great. So I've got a solid team of 4. On top of that, I've got a solid team of Alliance here in green, because you have Jewish Star Empire, the only one who's been getting a lot of pressure early on, Foo and Gooses. Gooses is an absolute monster, building up in the back. And we've been trading tech and coordinating better than anyone else on the map, by far. So we are ahead overall in tech as a result. Team JSE are pushing into this teal team that's made up of the Caretaker, the Big Banana, Spindletop, and Graymason. I'm very curious to hear who that is. And I think for this next week, that fight will just be ongoing. A little recap of what happened in episode 1. We made a deal. We made some deals. I've stabbed the Stupid Luke team. Stupid Luke team is made up of Starshade, Luke, Sleeb, and Para. And I called them Stupid Luke team because they said what their real names were. But the fact of the matter is they were just not as friendly at the beginning with me and did not commit like Team JSE did, so there you go. The purple is the Potato team, so there's Potato Prophet doing quite well as a result of this engagement. But you also have Mopal, Butter Toast, and Megatron, who's not faring as well. And then we'll talk about the other 2 teams in a second. What has happened right now is we are in the midst of taking over the Luke team. Now, we stabbed them, and as it turns out, the Potato team was going to stab, well, they were aligning with the Hive, and the Hive was going to get a formal alliance and come through, and they were going to all attack north together. But luckily for me, Bio M6 is the Hive Mind, and he did things like he did to me, and he stabbed them. They gave him money and they stabbed, so they are at war with the Potato Famine and kind of bit off more than they could chew. Because this purple team is GB and a few others, Species, Crazy Horse Club, and they're a formidable group. And so GB's team is attacking into the Hive, Potato is attacking into the Hive. The Hive had a great start. I said I will help the Hive. And the reason is because I need to hide my death. Because if people found out that I am Pandemic, I'm fearful that they would align against me and not let me win the 3rd straight game. So I have told people that I'm Starshade. Jewish Star Empire also originally said that from a message where I joked about being Star Lord. So right now we're playing this up. And so I had a whole conversation with Bio, the Hive Mind, about being frustrated that no one would team with me because JSE outed me in Discord, so everyone attacked me, and can I just get a ship to him to safety? So right now I have a plan to get 2 things done. I'm going to try to get Starshade with a range 2 from here to Luke Star, down to the Megatron Star, down into the Hive territory. So this all requires tech level 3, which my team will be getting very shortly, and I will give it to them. And as a result, they will remove as 150 ships to make our assault easier, and that will be of huge benefit. So the thread that talks about this is the pandemic showing mercy. So there was a conversation, and basically I was telling Starshade and Luke and Kaine and Hivemind. Now you might say, why in the world would these two players go along with it? Well, they are. As a matter of fact, I'll show you a little bit of the conversations. Basically, he said, if you want some ammo for the charade, I can send you in-game messages. I denied it. But then basically, I'm like, you know what? F it. Let's do this. He could blow this up, so let's go along with it. And basically, then he starts showing me messages he got. So I actually have Sweeps. So Sweeps MVP. He is actually Starshade, playing like a boss, but he's going along and basically claiming to be Graymason. And so the bio is completely sold. The rest of the board, some of them are skeptical, but you know, how could you deny it when everyone's just admitting it? And basically I said, you know, what can I do to thank you? He's like, no, just doing it for the fun of it. And so we have Sweeps Luke playing along that I'm actually Starshade. And so now I'm saying I'm going to show Pandemic will show mercy to Graymason, and allowing Graymason Starshade to go. And he says, here's the path you'll go, and you can go into the hive mind. All part of the plan to make me look like I've been killed. JSE knows what's going on. My team knows what's going on, and Luke's team. So, now, the rest of JSE's team does not know what's going on, and no one in the South knows what's going on, and the Potato team doesn't know what's going on. But that is the plan to fake my death, to get the rest of Luke's team stars captured, less painful, and then start working on Potato. Now, one thing you can see is this is the split that we agreed to with the Potato team of Luke's, about a 50-50 split, and with that, they're about done. They'll shift on the hive. We'll push down, and we'll be in good shape. So we're going to go back in time, and we're going to take a look using the beautiful thing called the Time Machine. So the Time Machine, again, part of the Neptune's Pride agent. Osric is the developer, and you can find him on the Discord and ask him questions. It's a great app, and one of the features that is really wonderful is a time machine. Once you create your API, you can go and do exactly what I'm about to do. You'll see here in the bottom right, the time machine is looking at 2 days and 10 hours ago. That's about the time that the last video ended. And we're going to go ahead and just zoom in and tick hour by hour, and you're going to see how hour by hour we moved in and we started to take over some of these stars. The resistances we found, the battles that happened, and as I'm going in, obviously my focus is over here in the blue, but you're also paying attention to the pink over here and watching those stars get consumed. And now we're at about 1 day ago, we had we have a land, good foothold in this, over the gap, and we've got some progress down here in the south. So we continue forward here, and you can see pink continuing to eat up red on the eastern side. You see here I had to do, this was a pivotal point. Basically what I did is I got tired of waiting, and I thought they were mostly AFK about 1 day and 3 hours ago. So I'm like, you know what? Let's launch on this thing. Well, guess what? They were paying attention. He quickly defended, and then not that long after, when they were transferring the star, they were going to take this. I did not want to lose this 46 natural resource star. So what we did is we made a deal to get our formal alliance in place with Brittanny, who came down and was able to help defend it. But now the problem is now she's stuck there defending. We're trying to get up here. This got fought off. We're about 14 hours ago. I'm trying to battle to get down here. That got blown up. However, Buttered Toast was able to go ahead and take that. That was one of the bounties as well. And we're 12 hours ago, and we'll kind of get up, and you can see at this point some more attacks going. And this is where we're at right now. So Hopefully that gave you a little bit of a sense of what happened in the last 2 days. Definitely making progress. And if we look at big picture here, we're going to go back. We'll go back. This is about the same time back, and just look overall, and you can see how things start shifting around the map. Bigger picture. This gives you a sense of what was happening. I don't know if you noticed down here. Go back a little bit. So okay, now we're going to go forward. So GB started taking over some yellow, right? Yellow made some progress here against the potato group. And we're looking for changing of colors, really. Potatoes pushing back. We're looking at the southern part of the map. Yeah, it's been fairly stable. And then looking over here, let's go do that real quick. So now we're kind of looking over here for the changes, and really, yeah, right there was a big push where Team JSE really advanced. They're fighting back. They're changing up stars. I don't have the full vision. Oh, there, yeah, it's a little bit of pushback. This was 22 hours ago. Then they come down again. I mean, so it is a bloodbath over here. The beginning of cycle 7, and we have an update. A response from none other than Starshade himself and his ally Luke. They have said that they're in. They will be making the run to the hive, and will keep my identity secret. Furthermore, Shade sent me this, Sweeps sent me this, showing that he's going to vacate his stars for us. So we waited a tick to make sure it really was true, and you can see 167 ships heading exactly where he said, down to Deneb. And presumably, instead of losing his 206 ships, these ships are going to leave the tick before, also to head to Deneb, and we'll be able to clean this up. So I'm taking the opportunity then to do everything I can to be as greedy as possible. I should have 4 ships land here. If he's not going to be reinforcing and defending, I should be able to take this star. He also was in agreement that we need to make sure we get, this is the home star of Vimbo. We need to get it before Potato does. He sent us intel of what they have as well. So if I go back to that real quick, you can see he wanted to know why we attacked him and what they did wrong, and so we went through that. But this is what Potato has, not a lot, right? So there's Bellatrix, and right there is where we want to protect. So they're circling beach, but they don't have a ton closer than that. They do have a decent amount right in this area here. So we'll see what's going on with that. But yeah, big update. If that holds true, these red stars will fall very quickly. I'll need to help and honor my word to get them to Tegman and get them over to the hive, but that will rapidly increase our accumulation of stars. Cycle 8. The plan is going beautifully. Let's go ahead and take a look. You can see a lot of the red's been cleared up, just like I said, and what we're left with essentially are 4 stars from Luke. Now, let's go back in time a little bit and show you what happened. I'm going to go back 20 hours, and we're going to go ahead. And this is about where we left off. And as you can see here, Starshade Sweeps did in fact vacate. And then we kind of scoot ahead. That allowed HB to move over here, and like I was getting blocked from Luke, so he's able to start working on Luke stars. I was going down for Taurus, whatever that name is, and I was captured it, but for some reason he denied me. I was denied, but they allowed this to happen. They allowed us to get the capital for Bimbo. Now they also suicided down over into here. We then locked in the fact that we had both of these stars, so we know that it's not Gray and Kaine, but no one else can ever know for sure now. I was about to get not hag when he vacated there. I chased him, and then he bounced back. Just playing little games. This is not the end. When did he change that? Yeah, about here he changed it. This is not the end. And then we got those. So this is where we're at now. And as a team overall, look at us. 1, 2, 3, all 4 of us are in the top section, but we're not at the very top because we've done a really nice job of spreading the love over all the team. The other little tidbit information I got was this. This was sent to me from Sweeps. This is his escape route, just as I had said before. So I gave him his range. He will be then going down to Tegman and then to Guinea, where he'll have a formal alliance. This is great. Hopefully Megatron will try to defend and blow up some ships. That's ideal. The other thing is that you'll notice that the hive mind has captured the home star of Megatron, which means we know who that is. And when I say we, I mean Bio, but Bio thinks that I'm dead, and he told me, and so we now know that Megatron is Blue Chicken, and this LAK Khan is Mopal. We're down to only 5 players who we don't know where they're at, and I'm of the suspicion that Potato and Butter Toast is either Macomer and Jubal Fett. That would be my top guess right now. It could be Bellamy Gingy, it could be Hex, it actually could be any of them. I don't think it's Pink Hat and Fancy, because these other 4 teams are more seasoned players that I know well, and they're playing how I would have expected. So it'll take some time to find out, but anyway, the mysteries are being resolved, and JSE is making progress down here on his front. So now we're at the point where we need to figure out what to do next. So right now the plan is to go ahead, regroup. Not this cycle, but the next cycle we'll have all of our techs being done. We'll get another manufacturing, another banking, another weapons, another range, and they'll also give us another scanning and another terraforming. So all 6 techs will be done next cycle, a big boost, and that's going to put us way ahead of everybody else. If we do a quick check on empires, we can see that we are 68 stars, 2,000 ships, double that of this team here. So 68, 2,000. So we have more stars than JSC. They have a little bit more ships. We have more stars than Purple, but they have more ships. Red obviously is nothing. 68 stars, 2,000 ships, so we're a little bit bigger than Potato, but honestly, it's a pretty close fight right now. And that's probably our next battle. Yeah, so if you look across here, yeah, so also yellow is got more ships. So we're not that far ahead of anybody right now, but if you focus between us and Potato, which is probably who we hit next, basically I think I'll try to hit down here and get rid of Megatron, while the other 3 push into Potato and Buttered Toast. Mopal won't be able to defend us because he's going to be getting attacked by the Hive. So even though this group is as strong as us individually, they're still having to deal with the Hive, and so it's not a straight up fight because that would be silly of us. But they're looking at, so 128, 109, 32 for economy, industry, science, 128, 109, 32 versus 177, 130, 37. So we are way more, 50 more overall economy than them. We're about 20 more ships than them per our industry per them, 37, and science wise we're ahead of them science. And also remember, even though our science is not only higher, we're also getting science from green where they're getting it from nobody. So it should be a fight we can win. We just need these guys fighting, we need these guys fighting, and those two fighting. We are at the first tick of cycle 9, and you can see that we have completely finished off, except for 1 star of Luke. We're going to go ahead and do some damage there. We might take that one over here shortly. The Star Shade escape of 400 ships, going to have about 193 landing. Well, more than that. Good 300 landing here on their way out. And so what we're doing now is just getting into position to attack Potato while Potato thinks we're going to attack the Hive. If we go back in time, this is from 20 hours ago, and we'll just go ahead and show you big picture what's happening. Really nothing of big note, just executing the plan that we thought we would be doing. And here we are. This cycle we have all our research done. Actually, weapons just got completed. So we have range finishing up, banking finishing up, my manufacturing finishing up, terraforming finishing up. I just got scan, which is good, which gives me a lot more range here. You can see I can see really far now. And yeah, that's it. So Operation Potato Famine is being prepared for now. Welcome to cycle 10. We're going to start where we left off and use the time machine to show you what's transpired. But we are wrapping up this episode now as the death of Graymason is all but secured. We are getting the assault and the preparations on the Potato team. And if you watch here as we prepare our forces, we're finishing off Luke the Red. And we're moving forward. Luke is dead. And you see down what happened. I want to focus on this just a little bit because this is what happened. As they were approaching, as Star Shade was approaching, I knew that they were going to hop, and so I was able to get the star without a loss. At the same time, I made a thread with the Potato team, and I basically was talking with them about what my intentions were. Now, our intentions were to attack them the whole time anyway, but what I said was, hello all, friendly neighborhood pandemic here. I start to move all forces towards the Hive now, well, plus a 75 to help my friend. We will remove Starshade from the damage he causes at Tegman, right here. So no worries there, and just need a better star to jump to, so I will grab this star, which is a 46 natural resource star, and absolutely not acceptable for me to do. Well, tell Hive I actually attacking Potato team to trick him into letting me get into position without a fight. Hive will send a long story that confuses everyone, but Hive having fun, so we let it be. Time to unleash the Potato pandemic on the Hive. Now, of course, this was met with much resistance, saying, hey, that's a really good star, you can't use that to hop to. And he's like, yeah, seconded. And I ignore it. I completely ghosted them. I was watching the whole time, and so what I did instead was I took the star, and I could have moved off, but I didn't. I stayed and blew him up when he tried to retake it. And then I came down and I take here, and then I go down and I take here. Oh, yeah, and then I went down, if you look up top here, then I went and took Wet Cyrus. Now he's going to take it back, but I'm going to do a ton of damage. He's got 266 ships. Now he's got 51. So major damage. And while I was doing that, our team up top started to attack on all fronts. So we go back in time. So right about then, boom, now we forward and we get Bellatrix, now it's called Brutus, Dalib up top. And really, we're just in full on attack mode at this point. We have this star's about to go down. We have a nice infrastructure set up with warp gates that we put in place at the beginning of the cycle, and yeah, we are beginning our assault on the Potato team, and I think we're gonna fare well. We have Megatron, who's down to 4 stars and only producing 4 ships a turn versus my 22. So he's going to hold up, be no fight at all. We back up a little bit here. You can see, Starshade, which everyone thinks is me, making the journey. Now, where's all this going? We have still the death of Graymason. Take a look at this. This is JSE, who's totally in on the joke, or in on the ploy. Now I will share my API with Graymason so he can make a video on my progress. And Bio's like, I don't think you have any idea how brutal the fighting is in some parts of the galaxies. Kaine, fight harder, damn it. Bellum, if Graymason has resigned to not being a factor in the game anymore, I think it would be okay for Stoned Ape to share with him. I trust Graymason to no longer influence the game. And Kaine's response is, I can hardly breathe from laughing too hard. Everyone is 100% bought in on this being me and Kaine being the first one dead, while we absolutely wrecking ball through the north. So, Graymason is dead. He will rise up. It will come out. Now, one thing I do want to point out is what could blow all this up is sweeps. And so he said he was tempted to take Bio's home system. I said, oh my, like, why would you do that? Chaos and stirring the pot. And I said, well, why don't you get a formal alliance? You can send me intel pictures. He's like, I think I've helped you enough. Butter Toast is gunning for you. So he's asking, why would I want to get Vision? I say, yeah, to intel. Then I shared that Bio had shared with me that he needed range to do a surprise attack, and but I'm like, well, if you want to trade, I can give you range, but you need to give me a star. So he says, yep, go to Keg, and so I pass that over. So Sweeps is now going to Kegs. So if you see down here, Kegs is right there. So he's gonna have to go something like that. And one day, 6 hours, he'll get to Keg, he'll get a star. So I think we have at least that long before Sweeps unveils the truth. And in part of this conversation with Bio, he expressed frustration over the Southern players, in particular Not-A-Car, dying to GB and kind of giving up. And if you kind of go back, I'm going to go back 20 ticks and kind of show you what happens down here. You can see how purple is taking over. And actually, interestingly enough, over here too, I saw a little, ooh, you see that? Purple is definitely taking over. So purple is going to be a problem. Now, what do I do? What do I do with this information? Well, I talk to Bio because I have his ear. So I speak with Bio, who's the Hive. And I basically says if Hex he reveals that Hex is not a car. He says if he dies, you're screwed. He's like, pretty much. So I said, well, isn't Toast complaining about being betrayed again? Trying to push him into aligning with Pandemic. I want him to align with me, so he views my alliance as a friend. It doesn't attack me. He says pressure is finally reaching a critical point on the potato front from the Pandemic team. So this would be the point where the war would finally have turned in my favor. But now this, we basically lost our whole lead. I said maybe coordinate with them. I wasn't impressed with their gameplay, but they have numbers. He says, I don't know. I think it's best to stick with Pandemic at this point. They seem very eager to work with the Hive Mind. Bio, I'm very eager to work with the Hive Mind. I am. So, I'm just a little devil in his ear, finding out his secrets because he thinks I'm dead, and then using it to manipulate the galaxy. Now, I'm happy for Bio to do well. I actually quite enjoy him. But what I want to happen is the Hive to not help Potato, to focus on the South and GB, to work with us, and then we just take over all the North. JSC finishes off Teal, and then we're all attacking GB, and then it goes from there. So this is the end of the death of Graymason. Graymason is dead. It's over. Now what's going to happen? Let's find out in the next episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, click on the link for the next episode. And don't forget to click subscribe for more content.